Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with your next stop on the Around the World in 30 Days hop. And also, it's Stash Dive Tuesday. So I have dived or divin or dove or whatever word anyone wants to use into my stash, primarily my Scrap Backwards kit, which I'm using, trying to use every day this week, at least, maybe the rest of the month, every day the rest of the month. I may take a break and do a Spectrum Sherbet because it's getting lonely over there. But there's a little bit of Spectrum Sherbet in my kit, so it's okay if I pull in some of the other items. Anyway, that has nothing to do with today's page. Today's page, we're stopping in Cheshire in the UK, where the Dotty About Flair crop was held in June, and where I met a longtime online friend known to you as Island Scrapper or Helen Rockabilly Girl, Helen Parkar, just an absolute angel. And the instant that we met, it was as if we had known each other and been friends forever. And I've talked about her so much since I've been home that my son said, "Wow, it's too bad you guys didn't live closer together because you'd be inseparable." And I kind of think that's true. But I'm starting off with this sticker sheet that has a lot of brown because brown is kind of one of those bones of contention between Helen and me. And what's odd is this is Boho Baby. And I have to tell you, I look at this and this does not make me happy at all. I would never have bought this. It came in a Mind the Scrap kit with a lot of embellishments, and I'm sure there are lots of people who were thrilled with it, and I'm gonna use it. I don't have any babies around, so maybe the rattles and stuff, but I can tuck in things with so I'm going to use the camera, the brown camera, and I'm going to use that brown flower, and I'm going to use one of these, probably this floral, and I love the little mushroom, and maybe some of the stars. So I'll probably use a fair amount of this, and there are probably some of these word strips that I might use. So aside from that, I have chosen a brown background paper, which is also known as a wood grain. And I love wood grain. And those of you who watch me regularly know I love wood grain, even brown wood grain. But I'm going to use it in Helen's honor. I have one large picture, the same photo that she scrapped of the two of us. And whereas she stamped Island Scrapper and Scrappy Kathy, I found a font on my word processor that kind of looked like her stamping. So we'll go with that. and I matted it in craft paper, which is sort of brown, but there's gonna be some purple in there. You knew that, Helen. There would have to be some purple. I found a stripe. This is from Vicky Booten. I think it's Fernwood. And it's a stripe that's very similar to the one that you used on your page. So I thought I'd throw that in as a little nod to yours. I have because it was, let's see. I'm not sure where that strip of foam goes, so I'll put it in there. I've got a frame that I'm going to kind of set the photo on top of, and it has pink in it. I'm going to cover up this. It was a double frame that I cut in two right there because the Always and Forever and the kind of precious looking florals and butterfly or something I probably wouldn't use. I have this amazing purple perspective from Bramble Fox. It's a special moment. And I have this purple waffle weave sort of paper that's got a whole lot of texture that was given to me at that same crop where I met Helen by another good friend that whom I'd never met, named Gwen Towell. And I'm going to put this on here now just so that I can fuss with it, with getting it straight and getting the right amount of that purple matte look under there. This is a sheet of a 6x8 tablet from Heidi Swap's Sun Chaser that I bought that paper pad at the crop. I'm gonna kind of just go ahead and lay this down. As you can see, I printed some photos on this paper and they didn't come out very well. So I'm using the paper for probably the only thing that it's good for, which is matting photos. Let's see if I can get this on straight by using a guideline. There, that helps. Okay. And because I'm doing the Mind the Scrap summer challenge, I'm going to be kind of getting in some stuff. And oh my gosh, how excited was I when I looked through my stash and I found some brown and white baker's twine. And I've got Helen's favorite purple Dusty Concord. And I figured this is pretty much similar to Dusty Concord. And this is a tag that was given to me, again, by Gwen Towell, she gives me all her purple stuff because she's not a fan of purple. And I have, because I started to say this a while ago, because everyone the celebrations were still on for the Queen's celebration of her 70 years as Queen. I have this stencil from Sandy Reversky of Scrapping Reflections, and it is little crowns, repeating crowns, and I'm going to stencil it on in purple and brown. I'm going to do them over here by this washi tape because there's no way that I can put that on there that the black line doesn't get involved. But if I put it over the washi tape, and so that's the brown one. And then I'm going to move right over here and kind of just up above it, but overlapping it, I will do the purple one, the Dusty Concord. And that's just, those will kind of anchor a cluster that's going to go here, and I will have clusters elsewhere that'll be anchored by other things. So I'm going to put this aside for now. I think I'm through with crowns, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay. Because we were, well, first of all, let me do the upper part, and that's where I'll show you where things are going to go. I know for sure that my title's going to go here. So I need to put it in place. so that I know I can get the proportions and the balance for everything else. Okay. Oops, I got a little bit of smirch on the pretty side of that. I know I started out with it further down, and I might like that better, but I kind of like that the purple is overlapping the purple there. Okay, so I've got this, which is going to go back here. I thought about having it down here, but I think I'll go with it here, and it's kind of having to push through some adhesive that's on here. I may put some foam over here just to hold that up. Because this has foam and some other things are going to have foam. Okay, so let me, and I'm just going to place it under there because I'll let the adhesive that's already there holding the page, this to the page, I'll let that be. Okay, the photo's going to go here, but I've got this guy that I might let it go here. That can go there. And then this can go at an angle. Okay, I kind of like that. So I'm going to put adhesive there and let it bring it down to the right level, and I've got foam kind of propping it up. And that should still be good. And then I'm going to put this down. Kind of like that. And now I'll show you what I'm going to do with the twine. I started to just do a bow in each tag, but I'm going to kind of tied that a little bit to, let me do it this way. There, and then I'll run this through here and run it through twice, and then I'll let it be kind of loose, but I'll let it where it kind of wants to sit. I will let it sit, and then kind of at a natural turn where it doesn't interfere with photos. So I have this photo. I thought I want to put this one right there. This is a photo of Helen and me holding on to Scrappy Adam. I don't want it just dead center on that because I have some other things. These are going to anchor the clusters, and they'll go along with the flare that I've chosen and some other things. These are two of the donkeys at the Isle of Wight Donkey Sanctuary where Helen volunteers, and she is a superstar and has written poems about all of these guys. And then of course I had to have Elvis. Now I'm gonna stick my, let me pull this out. Oh. I need to stamp something on this tag. Oh my gosh. Okay, do we think I can do that? Should I stamp it in brown or Dusty Concord? She stamped in Dusty Concord, so I'm gonna do that too. And I'm hoping I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to remove this. That says important stuff. Oh, yes, it came out. And it just really looks good with all that other stuff that's going on there. Okay, now we'll go back and put this back on here. That important stuff, those are two stamps out of this Sweet Rush stamp set. And that came in a Mind the Scrap kit, I believe it did. So it's part of my Scrap Backwards kit. So now I can do this and maybe kind of let it kind of curl around the photo there. So we'll see how that works. Now where do we go from here? Because it was a crafty crop that we were attending, I pulled out some stuff from Let's Get Crafty. And, oh, but I also have a subtitle that needs to go on here. And I want to ink it up, so I'm gonna use that little foam thing that I inked through the stencil, and it still has enough ink on it to give a light edge. And I'm kind of antiquing the white so that it kind of stands out from this. It's actually working really well, and it's getting exactly the look that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on so that I don't forget. And I'm going to put it kind of across two of the lines there, and then I may have a cluster around there. Okay, so back behind here, I wanted to put this ticket. I've got things standing up, or supposed to be standing up, that aren't. And this is a $49 in Market bit from an ephemera pack that came in a Mind the Scrap kit. And Helen used the word beautiful on her page, and I want to use it as well, so I may try to work it in with a cluster. I have a purple flare with paws, appropriate because Helen has amazing puppies that she adores, and she uses paws a lot. I have this heart that actually looks like it was stamped with the Dusty Concord. And I have this one that has a stripe, a multicolor stripe, but one of the stripes is brown. So I thought, how perfect. And I could kind of crisscross those stripes. That might be a bit much. So how about I do the heart right there? Let's do the clusters first. Well, let's see how. I'm going to actually build a cluster here around this heart. So let me put my inks aside. I think I may be done with those. I'm going to pull a couple bits of foam to go inside the flare. I'm propping it up kind of a little higher than I usually do because I may want to tuck some things in. So it's gonna go here, and then I'll build stuff around it that way. I have some more tickets, including one that came from the Let's Get Crafty collection, and it's lime green, which is another of my go-to colors. I'm gonna tear it because I think torn tickets look better than kind of straight cut ones, and I'm just gonna tuck it in right there, and I may tuck this in to a cluster. So I'm gonna put it over there. I have some things that are cut in half that I've used the other half of, and I've got a little television set because Helen and I are both on YouTube, and I'm sure that this television set is getting ready to show one or the other of us because, you know, we're so popular. After all, you're watching, right? So we must be all that. I'm probably used enough tickets, but I'm going to keep these around for my clusters. I have no idea. Normally I build clusters around flowers, and I have some flowers here. I have this half of this floral, and I have the other half. So I'm going to do one down here and one up here. That works for me. And I'm going to put the foam to hold it up. I'm going to do one kind of in the middle, maybe right adjacent to the photos. But there'll be one here and then one there. And I haven't fully envisioned what this is going to be yet, which is why I didn't glue it down. Either that or I just forgot. So you take your pick. Okay, I'm going to do the stripy one right here. It's going to kind of overlap one of the stenciled crowns. And I'm going to run these stripes vertically since those are horizontal. And I'm going to kind of put it where it overlaps there. And I'm going to add, whoops, that's moving around. That's possibly good because I wanted to put this, be sure that I got that in, And I'm gonna do a little glue to make it stick in between the purple mat and there. I'll put it in kind of close up there. And then I can kind of work the flower maybe around like this. And I will have it propped up. Whoops. That's unusual. I'm going to kind of get it down under that white mat, because down here the white mat didn't go, I didn't have a big enough piece of paper for it to go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to kind of hide the white mat over here, and I don't know what I'm going to do right in here. This one's going to go right up here next to Helen. So let's get this on here. I'm going to maybe put it like this, a little bit over to the right of where I originally thought it was going. I'm gonna, whoops, I'm kind of going crazy with my fine tip glue there. It's too easy to manage. Okay, I'm gonna put it maybe down a little farther than I had originally thought. I have some foam over here in the part that makes contact, and this doesn't look like I cut the mat straight. Yeah, I guess it's okay. I guess it's good. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the part that it's going to touch. Okay, so that's done, and that keeps it raised up so that I can do this just kind of under there. And I thought maybe I would do this. I have this half of a frame that's from a 49 and Market embellishment kit. I thought I would do this because it's brown and it's kind of rustic looking, and I thought it might be a nice anchor for the flare. I'm gonna put it maybe up towards the top, and then I want this to be part of that, and then maybe I want the TV to go right there, and I thought down here is where I would put Elvis. Kind of layered right there because that black really shows up well over the flowers. So let me get this. Helen did a Beatles logo from some packaging, And I looked around to see if I had anything like that. And I thought, well, she'll go for the Elvis bit, I think. And I can do this right down here. Island Scrapper and Scrappy Kathy for the good times. Beautiful. And I will put some foam behind that. I'm going to get that on there now. While I think about where the rest of this stuff is going to go. I like the TV kind of sticking out like that, so I'm going to leave that. And I may kind of put some other things around. I wanted to use this up top where, you know, this is obviously a photo from the crop, and this is a cake stand with treats, and there were certainly treats galore there. I think Scrappy Adam went bananas. I know he went bananas at the store. I was there with him as he was shopping, and everything he saw that he thought someone would like, he bought. And a good time was had by all. So I want to use this little guy. This ties into that color beautifully. This is a Mrs. Brimble's piece that used to come with Dottie About Flair stuff. There was they collaborated for a few months. And okay, so this, it doesn't matter which one goes where, I think, but I would like it up on enough foam that it overlaps. I don't like the circles to be kind of on their own. So I want it to be, I need more foam. More foam. And here's where these tickets and things will come in handy. Kind of equalizing or balancing that. I'm going to go ahead. I should cut that in half, shouldn't I? Because I can use the other side of it somewhere else. And I can bring this down a bit, and I can layer this underneath it, kind of like that, and just have it directly on the paper. Whoops, let's not. Okay, now this one is going to go not sure. Let's put the glue somewhere. I want the glue as part of this scene, and I still have the rainbow in my tweezers there. I'm gonna stick the glue right there, and that is kind of a nod to how much trouble I've had with glue in my YouTube career, and you all know what I'm talking about. I think this is going to be the solution. I just got these yesterday. they just came in yesterday. I ordered them last week. Here's another one of those little green tickets that I may kind of slide in under the flare and the donkey photo, just for a little bit of color. And I've got, for a little bit of beige, if one is so inclined, I've got these tickets, which I can staple together and then kind of stick right there, because you had to buy tickets to get into the crop. Okay, now I've still got this guy, not quite sure. How about maybe just right there, and I find something else, or you know what, just the direction. How about we just combine them here? I like it, because they were grazing together in the photo. And I'm gonna do it kind of like that. I've completely covered up that little frame I used. Okay, now how about that going right there? It's kind of cute. It's small enough that it doesn't really obscure either the donkeys or the paws. And it kind of slightly overlaps the photo. So I've got this bit which kind of got loose. It's a brad, and it's a button. And if you were a brad that was a button, where would you want to go? I'm gonna go here. It's from the She's Crafty collection. And I've used a fair number of things, but to follow the rules of not using more than 3 things from the same collection, which is a kind of a guiding principle of Stash Dive Tuesday, I've cut them in half. So I used a half here, a half there. That counts as one, right? So now I want to add, let me put this back in there. I want to add some musical notes, because this is Helen Rockabilly Girl we're talking about here. And we have to have a nod, and there's Elvis. I've got to get this where it's kind of, I'm gonna do this maybe right overlapping the photo. Right there. And I have another little one that I can put there as well. And for my subtitle, I have For the Good Times, which is an Elvis song. And I'm going to do this, or do I want it here? I'll use one of the single ones. I'll put this on the flare. And I'll put a single one right here. Okay, I think we're almost done. I have a few little bits that I want to use from the Boho Baby sticker pack. I have to use this little brown toadstool. And that covers up the word glue on the glue, which I don't want to do. So maybe I'll put it under the glue right there. And I have to use this brown flower. It's got to be on the page, right? We can't not have a brown flower. That reminds me of the Rolling Stones song, Give Me Dead Flowers. It's maybe an obscure Rolling Stones song, but it gets played on Little Steven's Underground Garage fairly frequently. Now, there is this floral bit right here that I kind of wanted to work in. It gets lost there. I'm not liking it there. So maybe the wood grain. Yeah, I like that. So I'll put some glue to make sure it sticks down in that crack. Did I spilled a musical note. Can't spill your musical notes, for God's sake. It's a delicate operation. Okay, I've got it. And then, do I have a place for this? Maybe right there. It's on my desk, and I have a rule about sequins on my desk. And these are sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. The sequins that I find on my desk during the filming of a video go on the page. Okay, there is a camera here, and it must go on this page. How about right up here and kind of overlapping that? I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll see. We shall see. Let's lay it there, and I like how that overlaps, so that's fine. So we've gotten quite a bit of brown on there. There is this which says all about you, and it's probably not gonna fit right there, but where can I put this? I'm gonna try to get that to curl a bit. It's been wrapped around a card, so it has kind of some square curls to it. I will fix that up with some glue after I stop filming. So what do I want to do with this? I have to use this. And because it sticks off like that, I'm going to pull one of these brads and put it right on this end of it, so it's not an abrupt end. There's actually an icon on there. It's a heart, so it might be nice for the heart to be straight up and down instead of on its side. There we go. And I believe I'm done. So I managed to get in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos on this page and still leave all this quote unquote white space. Oh. Okay, because this was in Great Britain, I have some British icons that I kind of wanted to squeeze into the mix. So there's a heart with the Union Jack, and I've got a flag here. This is from a sticker book that Adam got me on his whirlwind tour of London with Vicky Bouton. So how cool is that? I'm gonna do that, but give it some foam to prop it up. And then, and this will, I'm adding these colors that are nowhere else on the layout, up in that corner to balance this one, this corner. I'll fiddle with that after I turn the camera off. I think that's all I can physically add. I've got this little crown sticker that can go right here with these crowns, but I kind of don't want to do that. It's so different. I like that those still kind of show, but they're somewhat subtle, I guess is the word. It's not a word I use often, so it was hard to find it. Okay, so there's probably more I could do in the way of balancing this. I'd like this to fan out more, and it doesn't have any flowers. And I have a sticker book that has some flowers. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do these gold ones over here. Actually I'm not. I'm going to take this fairly small one that includes pink, because the pink on the page is in the flowers and the glue, I guess. But I'm going to kind of lift this up and bring it out there. That just fans it out enough for that to look like it's balanced. I could probably use something circular down here, and I'm looking around to see if I have anything handy. let's go in this box, because this is all stuff that from different collections that are very different from the ones I use there. Nothing that's kind of round enough. I don't want to have a competing floral. There's a beehive. And nothing there. Ooh, there's this word, create. You know what? I just found it on my desk and I like it, so I'm gonna use it. I think it's from the same sticker sheet that had the brads. There were some chipboard pieces, but I haven't seen this in ages. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the sticker a little bit kind of this way so that the word create doesn't leave any blank space. I don't want to cover up my toadstool completely. I'll do that right there. And that green matches the green of the tickets, and the green of that flower and a couple other elements in there. So that's nice. Okay, this is for you, Helen. There are no words for how how happy I was to meet you and how excited when you walked in the room. I know I just took a run, you know, and hugged you, and it was just awesome. So, and then the time we spent together at Adam's house and then in Liverpool, it was amazing. And I appreciate everything. You were one of my first and most supportive subscribers on YouTube. And I was thrilled when you started your YouTube channel. And I'm a huge fan of your work and thrilled to be on the Dottie About Flair design team with you. So thank you for your lovely page. And I hope this is a message back in kind. Bye. Thank you for watching, everybody.